this, but we are recording it during a TikTok live on Thursday night. We started this live a moment ago, and then nobody could hear what I was doing. I'm having a lot of problems with TikTok these days, and I'm getting a little irritated. Usually by now we'd have a ton of people showing up and such, and it's a little slower than usual. I guess I have to check with people and see if they can hear me, because the last time I went up, they weren't able to hear me at all. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to pull TJ and Rebecca up to see if they can hear me at all. TJ, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I can't hear you now.
Why?
What?
You can hear us?
Fuck.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, you can hear me, but I can't hear TJ.
Hello?
Can you hear me,
That's weird.
Mike?
Hello?
Hold on a second here. I'm going to try a different headset and see if that works.
We are back on the Rational Boomer podcast. Hopefully, all doing well.
I'm messing around with this. I got to tell you, I'm a little angered with TikTok as it is right at this point. Okay,
Hello.
TJ, Rebecca, talk so I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you now. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I blame Trucker T.
I don't blame Trucker T. I'm a little teed off at TikTok right at this point. I don't know if you heard. Well, you didn't hear. You couldn't hear me before. When I got up this morning, I got a notification from TikTok said that I was being kicked out of the Creator Fund.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean I'm getting kicked off the app, but it means they're not going to pay me for what they've paid me before. Now, understand, TikTok doesn't pay you that much money compared to other platforms.
Right.
But this particularly pissed me off because you know why they kicked me off, TJ?
Unoriginality.
Yep. They said I was posting unoriginal content. Now, here's what I don't understand.
That makes no
You got this
sense.
dumb face. You got this dumb face sitting in this fucking room talking on that camera, and how much more original could it be? TJ and I have talked about this before. This probably has a lot to do with the multitudes of imposters out there. There are literally dozens of imposters out there.
There's a lot.
I've complained about. I've reported them.
I've reported them.
Followers. They've been reported 100 times. And each time TikTok says, well, they're not doing anything wrong. Well, yeah, they got my name. They got my face. They got my videos, and they're making money on the Creator Fund off my shit. Yet they come to me with the unoriginality concept. And it just pisses me off for principle's sake. I'm doing stuff. TikTok's making money off of it. These imposters are making money off of it, but they come to me and say, you can't make money off of it because you're unoriginal. I just really got pissed at TikTok, and I said that I was probably this would be my last live here.
Right.
And I don't know if that's true because I just did a live on YouTube, which was much more easy. And I'm going to be doing more of a base of my stuff at YouTube because it is easier. But one woman came up and said, well, maybe don't stop doing TikTok lives because I like the fact that you can pull people up and talk to a bunch of different people. And I don't think you can do that on YouTube. So I may do lives from time to time just for the content, not expecting any shit from TikTok. Because
Mike, did you contact Go Live Vegas?
Yeah, I did. That's really not an area they work on. And he said he was at a convention and he was going to talk to some people. I'm not really expecting much out of it. And I don't really fucking care at this point. You know, I think what I'm going to do at this point, I can't just abandon TikTok, not because I owe TikTok anything, but I've got a lot of followers here and I can't just blow them off and be a pouty boy and just walk off. So I'll still post some videos, but if you want to see the majority of the videos that I do, all of the videos that I do, you have to go to YouTube, Spotify, Substack or even Instagram at this point. I'm going to use TikTok as a point where I'll get some information out and as a promotional tool to point people in the proper direction where they can get the actual content, because apparently TikTok has no interest in having my content. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're not going to talk about my situation. We got other shit to talk about.
TikTok bumped Rebecca off. I don't know why.
Really? Well, I'll pump her back up and yeah. Okay, got Rebecca. She's back up now. Hey, Rebecca.
Thank you. Yeah, I was here and then I was gone. I don't know what happened.
Well, TikTok sucks. So, who knows what the fuck. I came up here. You couldn't hear me. Then I couldn't hear you. Sounds like the new owners are having a little problem with technology.
Yeah.
And I would complain, but they probably telling me it was all a fucking hoax.
Yeah, no doubt. It's really going downhill. I noticed that it's becoming very glitchy.
Yeah, it is.
They're very glitchy and the ads are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're not just TikTok shop ads. They're just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I started listening to TikTok 5 years ago before I started doing the recordings, just to get a sense of what was going on. And at that time, it was pretty interesting, pretty entertaining, pretty diverse with people with different talents. And now I see a lot of AI shit and I see people selling shit, and it's just not as fun to watch it anymore. I mean, I like the functionality and the logistics of it all, but the content is really taking a hit. And that's not because there aren't talented people out there to do content. It's because of the way they fucking set up this system, and they're terrified of anybody talking about the truth. That's the unfortunate thing, but that's the way it goes. Let's not talk about TikTok anymore. They piss me off at this point. And I will tell you this, if you don't or can't listen to this whole live, don't worry, because I'll be posting it on YouTube, Substack, and Spotify. You'll get the whole live elsewhere. And if nothing else, this is good content for me to post elsewhere if posting it here on TikTok doesn't matter anymore. Did you hear Donald Trump's latest spin? We've got this war
about the gas
and
prices.
The oil price. Yeah, the oil prices are going through the roof. It's up about $100 a barrel. On February 27th, it was $67 a barrel. And he's been saying, well, it's only gone up a little bit.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that it's going up.
Yeah. He's trying to spin it that it's a good thing because we sell the most oil in the world, and all the oil companies are going to make more money now because it's more expensive. Yeah, you dumbass. Where do you think that extra money's coming from? It's coming from us, you piece of shit.
Right.
Well,
nice job trying to spin it.
Well, this dumb motherfucker.
The price of gas in Ohio is $349, TJ? $350?
Yeah. And Ohio generally has lower gas, and we're close to Ohio. So when we pass through Ohio, it's always advantageous to get gas there. Not anymore. It's up. It's higher here, but it's up in Ohio, and it's so funny because you know Donald Trump's never purchased a gallon of gas in his fucking life, right? So
no, of course not.
So he has no clue that this is harming people because he's that fucking stupid.
Yeah, he's trying so hard. He seems to be spinning around here. He's getting hit from every side, whether it be the war or the tariffs or the Epstein files or all this shit. He's getting hit from every angle. And this is where narcissists end up. They get to a point where it's unmanageable. They can't control everything. And eventually it comes falling down on their fucking heads. And the sooner the better. I'm going to pull up Trucker T here because we always like to hear what Trucker has to say. What's up, Trucker? What's on your mind?
What you say, Mike, Becca, and TJ?
Oh,
it is
Jesus
not
Christ.
It is not my fault, sir.
What happened to TJ?
They made me remove him.
Oh, my God. And he didn't even say anything.
What did he say?
Nothing.
I don't know.
Gas prices?
Yeah, whatever.
So tired of fucking TikTok.
I've been going back and forth to the mailbox today, Mike. checking to see if I got any of that 96 billion that Petey spent, and also checking to see if
Yeah.
I had a box of floor shine shoes in there for me.
Well, here's the deal. He tells his people, Donald Trump tells his people, Marco Rubio, you got shitty shoes. I'm going to buy you good shoes. And he goes out and he orders Florsheim shoes. Now, I remember in the 60s and 70s, they might have been high level shoes. They aren't that great a shoe anymore, are they?
They're not. If you look at the way they look
they're
on
not.
Trump's feet, ew,
It's just,
it's
it's
bad.
unbelievable.
Can't
Yeah,
look at his feet because they can't get past the cankles.
yeah.
Well, then Marco Rubio got a pair of shoes that they were too big and people were making fun of him because he's wearing these fucking clown shoes and he's afraid not to wear them because Donald Trump will get pissed off. Jesus Christ. What a fucking
This is what we were
middle
used to.
school.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's middle school.
They said he didn't even measure them. He just guessed and sent them out to all of Israel.
That's kind of how he's doing the Iranian war too. Yeah, we don't have to check. I got a feeling about this, so we're just going to bomb them.
Hey.
Yeah, good move, Donnie. How's that working for you?
Well, Donnie said we won the war in the first hour. Really, there's no need for us to even be there anymore.
Well, today he said we won the war, but we still got to stay there a while,
Yeah.
which makes no goddamn sense. When things don't make sense, I usually bring up Eric, the analytical Iowan.
hey, Aaron.
What's your take on this thing that we won this war already, but everybody's getting the piss bombed out of them?
Well, that's the dementia talking. Clearly, his brain is fried. He doesn't know which way to go. He's just saying shit at this point. I don't know that he's actually been given good intel on anything. I was on a live with Will yesterday, and I made a comment. Now, obviously, I wasn't around for the end of World War II, but I study history. And when they finally captured Japan, when Japan finally surrendered, the one thing the emperor said, he had no idea how bad the war was going up until the point when they had to surrender. They were telling him everything was going fine as they were losing day after day. And it was becoming more evident they were going to have to surrender. That's where we're at with Donald Trump. They're not telling him the truth. So him saying we won, he's thinking that he can come out and just say, oh, yeah, we're done. We've completed everything. We've done it all. And
So let me see.
they'll give up.
Let me see if I understand this. The people around him aren't telling him anything, so he doesn't have the facts. Now, if you're a normal person, there's a lot of media out there, whether it be social media or whether it be mainstream media. But since he only watches Fox, they misinform him too. So you really think he's living in a world where he doesn't realize prices are going up and the war is going badly and the Epstein files are just moments away and dropping more and more? Do you think he's that oblivious to this whole situation just because he's being insulated?
When you add in the fact that he's being insulated plus the dementia, I 110% believe it. That he don't know shit. Because I've seen multiple creators here that have explained, who are professionals in the medical field, and they talk about dementia. And they said this idea of unusual gift giving is something that is common among dementia patients. Like it could be a sign that you're going downhill. You bought everybody all these shoes. That could be a sign that something's wrong up here.
Yeah.
That I like these. Everybody will love them, and he goes out and he buys them.
Well, Donald Trump doesn't. Donald Trump never gives people shit. He's transactional. He wants shit. He doesn't give people shit. So in that regard, that is a little unusual. That's out of character for him to do something like that, to be a giver. It's troubling. And when you watch him talk, I saw him recently. He was talking about something, and It's Me, Jules, is saying that they won't tell him that he's using the word excursion wrong. So he was talking about the war and calling it an excursion. And people said, well, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, it's an excursion. I think what he meant to say, and maybe you heard earlier, was an incursion, but he can't differentiate between the two. So he's talking about fucking excursions.
Mike, he was outside. I mean, well, he was giving a speech today and talking about wind outside, and where his wife was saying, "Not tonight, honey, because of the wind," or some stupid shit. So yeah, who knows? And I'm texting with TJ, who's pouting that he's not in here.
I'm going to pull somebody up because they asked if they can come up. I don't know who this is. It could be a dangerous move, but we're on TikTok now, and I don't give a fuck at this point. We'll do whatever we got to do. Walton Pedicle, whatever the hell that means. How are you doing? What's on your mind?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to thank you from all your work you did leading up to the election. You and Harry, every time I turned on my phone, you and Harry were on the phone speaking your truth. And as a MAGA Republican, I want to thank you for all that hard work, because you pretty much, all those lies you told and all that misinformation you gave just gave us the election. All the stuff you told people that how they should think, and they just used their eyes to see you were lying. Everything you said was
Okay.
a lie.
Okay, now stop talking, because you guys love to talk over people, and you're not going to do that here. So give me a lie that I said. Give me a specific lie.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, it was so
You
long
can't, can
ago.
you? Yeah, you can't. So
It was so long ago.
you're-
Pretty much everything
your
you said was a
credibility.
lie.
Okay, let me ask you about lies then. Donald Trump said that prices will come down day one. That obviously hasn't happened. He said no more new wars. He's bombed 7 countries and he started a war in Iran. He said no war in Iran. He blamed Obama about starting a war in Iran before it even happened. What about those lies? How do you feel about those lies?
Listen, he can't control everything. He's doing a great job. MAGA, we
He
love
can't
him.
control anything.
We love everything he's doing. We love everything he's doing. And we're so happy that Kamala and Joe Biden, we don't have to bother with them for 4 more years.
Hey, Mike.
So,
And a lot of that has to do with your work. So thank you very much.
Mike,
really, every time I see your face, I'd say thank
Mike,
you
he's
so much. Thank
he's
you
a
for all the
troll.
work you did.
He's a troll. He totally.
well, yeah, I know. I know he's a troll.
He
I'm
pronounced
telling you.
Kamala's name correctly, so he's definitely a troll.
I
just
turned his
blocked him.
mic off and
Yeah, I blocked him.
okay, good. The only reason I let him go a little bit because people complained to me last time we got a troll on here, and they said, "Why'd you get rid of him? Why don't you kick his ass?"
Yep.
This guy is a stereotypical Trump-lefuck. He just talks louder and longer than anybody. Unfortunately, that's not going to work for me because I can talk longer and louder than he can. This guy is trying to be a troll. I don't even know if he's a Trump-lefuck. I don't know if he thinks
Yeah,
he
he's
had
just
a
a troll.
gotcha moment with me, but he fucking lost.
Yeah,
I
not
have
even close.
I have literally never heard a troll, or never heard a Trump-lefuck pronounce Kamala's name correctly, and he did.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of glad he got through because in my attitude now with TikTok and stuff, I almost don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
You know,
I have my finger
if
on
they
the
don't
button,
give a
Mike.
fuck about me. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. The whiny little bitch is gone now, thankfully.
Yeah, I saw you pausing, and I knew that you were looking for more time, so I just kept my finger on the button and waited for the opportune time to let his ass go.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And we'll go to the opposite end of the spectrum now. Our
Hey,
own
Mike, how you doing?
Democratic troll, Will. How you doing,
Yes.
man?
I am the ultimate troll. That is so weak. I mean, come on, dude. Like, we haven't heard half the shit you said before. I mean, I had
Yeah,
someone.
it's just
I mean,
stupid.
I had fat jokes the other day. Someone throw it at me and they were weak. Come on, bitches, please. Let's do something here. I do have some bad news. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Pentagon Central Command is reporting that we lost a KC-135 tonight with 6 souls on board. They was a mid-air collision with another KC-135. Those are the refueling planes.
Yep.
And one of
Yeah.
them got back, one of them did not. They don't know. The plane is out of Fairchild Air Force Base. I think that's California, if I'm right. But they don't know the if the crew is okay. So we might have lost 6 more people tonight for this.
That's only like the, what, 10th mid-air collision that we've had since Donald Trump's been back in office, and he started fucking around with the FAA and all sorts of regulations and everything.
Yeah. Well, this is the 4th one we've lost in the actual war itself.
Yeah. The F-35 or F-1 was F-15s that got shut down.
Yeah, 3 of those.
Yeah, so it's this war it's a disaster in the sense that they want out. Trump wants out, and the Iranians.
Absolutely.
It's basically like a game of. It's like a game of Mortal Kombat. No, come here. They're not letting us loose. They're going to make our life miserable. Simple as that.
Well, you know, what they've said, they prepared for this a long time, and one of the most telling comments I saw from a official from Iran, somebody asked them, "What are you going to do if America's come on boots on the ground into Iran?" And they said, "We've been waiting for them. They aren't fearful of this at all."
It was literally, I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it was.
really. Do you guys think that Donald Trump is starting to feel the pressure now? He honestly thought he would go in there. It's exact replication of what Vladimir Putin did when he fucked up going into Ukraine. He thought he was going to beat him in 3 days, thought he was a tough guy. Didn't happen. 4 years later, it's still going on. Donald Trump goes into Iran, thinks he's going to blow him up for 3 days and be the hero. And surprise, surprise, Donald Trump fucked up.
Yeah. Did you see the interview today that Pete Hegseth gave, where he talked with his hands? He was like, on one hand, the left hand, we struck vigorously, but all that BS. Then he says, now on the right hand, what we did was we struck them so vigorously they don't have any more left to shoot over. I'm trying to watch my words so I don't get taken down. But they don't have enough ammunition to go over. Then as soon as he said that, they just start bombing the shit out of him. Right? So they don't know what the hell is going on, to be honest.
And we control the Strait of Hormuz. And yesterday, we got 3 oil tankers on fire and a cargo ship. And they're threatening to cut off the other side of the Arabian Peninsula coming out of the Red Sea to the Suez Canal. I mean, apparently their missiles have capability. It's a possibility they could do it.
Yeah, the idea that Donald Trump says everything's going great in the Strait of Hormuz and basically suggesting just drive through there. Don't be such chickens. Are you kidding me? You're not going to chaperone them through now because the Navy told you that's fucking crazy. So now he's just saying, yeah, just go on through. Here's the interesting thing about it is nobody's getting through there, but Iran is shipping more oil through the Strait of Hormuz than ever before. That's interesting. So China and Russia are getting oil from Iran.
Yeah, I can believe that. I'll tell you another thing that's interesting is that we haven't seen Bibi on TV, they said, in 5 days. And Iran is saying that they did something to him, but it can't be verified.
Yeah, what do you think that's about?
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, he's either hiding or they did something terrible to him.
Well, we've heard that he's in hiding, but we also know his brother was killed, or at least that's what they're saying. I've heard people say that's not true. It is true. Unfortunately, when we're talking about the media, when we're talking about Israel, when we're talking about the United States government, you don't know what the fuck is real. They're lying all the time.
Well, I watched the other day one of the Iranian diplomats speaking about it, and they were saying that it was actually true. And here's what he said. He says, yes, we did that with his brother. And then the reporter says, but they're saying that you didn't unalive him but that he was in a car accident. And the guy says, well, they can call it what they want, but I can tell you right now, his house is on fire. So he's
Yeah, they
saying
got
they
the
actually,
compound.
yeah, he's saying that no, we bombed that compound. They can call it what they want. That guy's gone, is what he said.
All right, I'm going to pull somebody else up here, see if they come up. That's the thing with TikTok. Sometimes you punch somebody up and they don't come up. Ah, man. All right, we'll go. What the fuck? It's JoJo. Hey, JoJo, how you doing?
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing great.
We got so much
Comparatively.
to talk about. Oh my God. It just, like the last week, it just never stops, day after day after day.
No, it does not. It gets worse every day.
It's becoming a real crisis for some people. I've been busy traveling on business, but I always, when I have a few minutes and I think I want to get some stress relief from my job, I go on TikTok and I get more stress. But people are really, people are fleeing the country. I know a couple of creators that were not big creators, but they recently packed their bags and escaped.
Where are they going?
One of them went to, I don't want to say where they've gone because I communicate with them in my account. So if someone were to try to get that information out of my account, but they went to a warm part of the world. Let's just put it that way. Off of our continent.
Gotcha.
So, and another person went to Europe. And one of my dear friends, who's an attorney, his child was studying overseas. They're Spanish from Spain, and his older daughter went there to study, to do college abroad. And he told her, "Don't come back, just stay." And they just left this last weekend. They all went over there. They have some family and relatives there, so they're going to hang there for a while. He closed up his practice here, and whatever you can do remotely, which most of these jobs, we can still do them remotely.
True.
But other than that, the things that we're seeing, I mean, just the speech that he made when he discussed the SAVE Act is causing people major amounts of distress. That conversation that his deluded, demented, sundowning mind dribbled into about you can ask your daughter, and 6 years old is legally age of legal majority. The craziness is pouring out of his pores. He's crossing old memories, because that's what happens with dementia, with current events. He can't even keep his lies straight. And some of those lies have now turned into truths, right? Because he's lying about true things that he's hiding. And when they get to that stage of decrepitness, and I'm saying this not as a joke, this is part of my specialty in my field. They can't control what comes out of their mouth. And believe it or not, dementia is almost like a truth serum. Things will come out that are truly memories. They're jumbled up and they're mixed up with current events, but they're not able to lie. It's just stuff that comes out. And most of the time when you're dealing with families or institutions, they know that there's a history and they can recognize that certain things they're saying are actually accurate, mixed in with what you think is a lot of garbled language, right? So that was disturbing.
Yeah, that's a little disturbing. The other thing, too, is people have to remember that we're kind of at a standstill with everything. Donald Trump wants the SAVE Act passed.
Yeah.
Senate doesn't have the votes for it. Then he wants them to get rid of the filibuster.
Right.
They don't have the votes
for that. Right.
Donald Trump says he's not going to sign any more bills until they get rid of the filibuster and pass the SAVE Act. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Thankfully, this Congress doesn't pass many bills, so it doesn't fucking matter. And don't forget, we're still in the middle
of a closure,
of a shutdown with DHS.
Yeah.
And I haven't even heard them talking about how to fix that.
No, they're not. There was one I saw one House of Representative from, I can't even remember what state now. I'm not even familiar with her. Never saw her before. She's a Democrat. And she said she's like one of a handful of people that are showing up just to man the government so that there's somebody doing something, there to
Yeah.
talk to constituents, to be, the buildings are empty. The Republicans are gone. They have absolutely no interest in trying to correct anything. There is no such thing as a reasonable Republican at this point. There's none. And Fetterman, I swear to God, somebody better put a CONTRACT on that fucker.
Will, you had something to say.
Yeah, I was just saying that. This is how bad it is with Trump, and it kind of fits in with what the young lady's saying. So there is a bill in the Senate to help housing, come on the way of planned housing to help people. It's one of the promises. It's a bipartisan bill. It's going to the House. So when Mike Johnson, when Trump was told about it with Mike Johnson, he told Mike Johnson, "Don't worry about that. Worry about the SAVE Act because, quote, no one gives a shit about housing."
Yeah.
End quote. That
Right.
came from Trump.
But
Of
the
course.
best thing we could hope for with that housing bill is Donald Trump says he's not going to sign any more bills. Hopefully that also means he's not going to veto any bills.
Right.
Because if the House passes it, in 10 days, not counting Sundays, it becomes law. And that is the best thing we could hope for.
But is the House passing anything? I don't think they are.
I don't know if they'll pass
Probably
it or not.
not.
I'm just
Yeah, they're not.
throwing out
And
there
here-
what would happen if they did.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, it gets even more complicated because what happened in Georgia on Tuesday was Sean
Yes.
Harris getting 37% of the vote. Now, will he win the seat? Don't know.
Well,
But
yeah.
right now in Georgia, the Republican National Committee is in panic mode. Okay?
As they should.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, though, in Georgia, the advertising for governor and the advertising for the Senate seat, the Senate primaries against John Ossoff, is showing just Trump. We are Trump's ally. We are anointed by Trump, and they just show Trump just talking. That's not going to fly here. They don't get it. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to blow up in their
You
face.
mentioned Sean Harris. I was looking at the poll numbers. He only got about 35% of the vote.
Yeah.
That's about what MAGA is at as far as a percentage of this country.
Yeah.
So if everybody that is not MAGA and is sick of MAGA votes against Clayton Fuller, no,
Yeah.
I think I said Sean Harris, but Clayton Fuller is who I meant. He got 35% of the vote.
Yeah, Clayton
If
Fuller.
everybody votes against him because they're sick of MAGA, Sean Harris is the next representative.
We got to hope for
And
the
you know
same
what that
thing.
means?
I'm
You
sorry.
know what that
go
means?
ahead.
They don't have a majority anymore. They will not have
No,
a
they
majority.
would still have a majority.
Barely.
They have one seat. They have exactly 218 because was it Kevin Kilney or something like that out of California? He became an independent, so it would drop him down, but he's still siding with the Republicans
Yes.
to keep them with their majority.
That's what he said publicly. He said he is going to side, he's going to vote with the Republicans, but he doesn't want to be associated with them to, his constituents are, what's he going to fool them by changing his party? Like, whatever.
That makes absolutely no sense.
They're so
He's basically
fucking stupid that it's beyond stupidity now. It's just
What-
literal incompetence.
Well,
he's
what I
literally
think he
just
might
spraying
do-
Axe spray over his body, try to get rid of the stench.
Well, what I think he might do is if we pick up Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat, if we pick up a Democrat in
Texas.
the seat for Mickey Sherrill's seat,
Yeah, that's me in New
and
Jersey.
the other seat that's open,
Yeah.
California, where it's
Yeah.
217 to 217, he may
Yeah.
flip and start siding with the Democrats and give them the majority. He's only staying with the Republicans because they have control right now.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me
Yeah.
if he says, yeah, once the Democrats actually have a chance of having control,
Right. He's going
that
to.
he would staying independent, but
But
I'm going to lean with them, and just so we can put somebody sane in control
Yeah.
of the House.
I think New Jersey, I think we're doing pretty well as far as being able to pick up that seat, a Democratic seat. Keep it. Vicky Cheryl was a Democrat, so we would just keep the seat and not lose it. Looks pretty good here. We've got a lot of people working real hard on that, including myself.
All right, I'm going to pull
Well,
somebody else
here's
up
the
here.
thing.
Want to?
With
Okay, finish your
real
finish your
quick,
thing.
in elections from the time Donald Trump became president to now, Republicans have flipped 0 democratically controlled seats that were
Right.
Democrat going into a special election of some kind or a regularly scheduled election like we had last year.
Right.
Democrats have now flipped 28. That is almost unheard of.
We're in some times that are unheard of.
Yeah, no shit, no shit. I'm going to pull up Stephanie. I know Stephanie's been with us before, and looks like she's coming up. Stephanie, how you doing? What's on your mind?
Hi, just the Middle East. You're going to have peace in the Middle East within 10 years because Israel is done as a nation state. Because when the war started, they were able to shoot down 9 of 10 of Iranian drones and missiles. Now they're down to only being able to intercept 3 or 4. And they can't resupply missiles because the only people they can get them from are the states, and the states can't supply them because they aren't going to fly planes into Israel because of the airspace. And I seriously doubt you're going to find a cargo captain willing to sail into an Israeli port right now. So Israel's out of missiles. The U.S. fleet there is damn near out of missiles, and you can't resupply a destroyer with Tomahawk missiles at sea. They have to fuck off to a port somewhere. So that's a week, but they're going to be out of action.
Well, their Golden Dome didn't work very well, so we know that would
And-
fail.
Well, they did for a week, but they didn't expect Iran to be able to send an average of 300 missiles a day.
Well,
for
Yeah.
10 days.
remember the Israelis attacked Iran during the Biden administration, and Iran retaliated, but the Biden administration had ships at seas and ships in the Red Seas to knock stuff down. Joe Biden was ready for him. Now, he didn't get into a whole war. He basically said, okay, we're going to do this. And then he went to Iran. He goes, you good? Great. Told Netanyahu, stop. We're not invading.
Yeah.
We're not doing what you want, but we're going to help you out. See, without that extra coverage from the cruisers, that's what's going on, because we don't have that because they didn't plan it.
Right.
Trump woke up that Saturday morning at 1 a.m. in the morning, like I told you he would, Mike, and decided,
Yep.
I want to go to war. And that's what
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
And when he tells us, oh, I didn't know prices would go up, or I didn't know they were going to close, he just doesn't, I can't even describe. There's not enough words to say lack of knowledge in him to describe him right now. I don't have the thesaurus to do this right now.
But you know what the belief, though, really is? He really doesn't know these things. This is a man who is out of touch with reality. Probably hasn't had cash in his pocket in 40 fucking years. Hasn't paid for anything straight up, and doesn't even pay the bills he knows he's got. So this
Yeah.
man has no concept of money except the number in a bank account. That's it. And lying about the value of your assets.
Well, true, but what I'm really surprised at, you're going to see Israel in the next week to 10 days threaten to use a tactical nuke. The problem with that is there is a 60-40 chance they don't actually have nukes. Because they've been saying, oh, we got nukes, but they won't disclose that they have them publicly. They won't disclose to anybody how many they have. So it's entirely possible, about a 30 to 40% chance they don't actually have nukes.
Let me
Because they don't
let
have
me
any
scare the.
centrifuges. They don't have any uranium.
That's an
I'm going to
interesting
scare the
take.
hell out of all of you. I'm going to scare the hell out of you right now, all of you. I was talking with Eric on this when I did my live the other day. Tim Miller, the Bulwark, did a podcast, and he was talking about, he was listening to some MAGA podcaster, right, who's not down with the war. And he said Trump he's reached his megalomaniac stage where he doesn't care about the American people, obviously. He cares about being a historical figure. Hence Venezuela, hence the Trump Arch, the ballroom. Things that really don't matter, but he wants to be historical. And he's listening to this guy go on, and at the end, the guy goes, and it's a good possibility he'll drop the bomb. And Miller said, he stopped for a second, he goes, because it would make him a historical figure. I dropped the bomb on Tehran and Iran. I ended them, period. He doesn't care about the consequences. He says that would make him historical.
Well, yeah, it would, but
Makes sense.
Trump may say he wants to do it, but he still has to get the Joint Chiefs to agree to it.
Yeah.
He's got to get the individual missile commanders to agree to it.
Yeah.
And
Don't they all have a different part of the code?
no, they have the code, but it has to be verified twice, and there's 2 keys needed. It would have to be the weapons officer and the commanding officer of the ship to turn the key
Right.
simultaneously. And
So I'll ask you, Stephen,
but
because you seem
they,
to be more.
they did a
more
study in the
Sorry, go ahead.
90s where they asked the missile silo commanders if they got the order to launch a nuke and you were not actually in a hot war at the time, would you launch? 80% of the silo commanders said no, they would refuse that order.
Right.
But
So-
now we don't have silos per se. We're talking guided
Yeah.
missile cruisers.
It
We're
would
talking
be
about
It'd be a
submarines.
sub or an Aegis cruiser. But
And so
you still need
doesn't it
those
take
2.
just one psycho to do it with him?
No, you need 2. You need the weapons officer and the commanding officer of the ship.
Okay.
And if, you wouldn't be able to do that without everybody in the tack room knowing you were about to do it, and there'd be like 5-6 people minimum in that room. So even if they tried to do it, there's a good chance they
But
would
they
be
might
mobbed.
tackle them. Yeah. Stop them.
So
Should do, if they get that order, is not do it, and then just feed that command into AI, generate an image of it happening, show Donald Trump that video. He'd
Yeah.
believe it's true.
Yeah.
There you go. Problem solved.
Absolutely. Yeah.
and let's face it, if Trump did get some captain and crew to launch a nuke, it'd be a tactical nuke. And then all Iran's going to do is fire everything they have at Israel's nuclear storage facility. When the fallout from that, you wouldn't get a nuclear explosion, but the radioactive fallout would kill 3/4 of Israel, half of Syria, and parts of Saudi Arabia.
3/4 of Israel, it would knock the whole thing out. It's the size of New Jersey.
Yeah,
So
but-
basically, we become the game Fallout
Yeah.
in 130 seconds. Oh my lord!
Right.
Uh,
So, like,
Did you see the Iranian young lady who's been frequenting a lot of my FYPE just recently, who told a story, and I call it a story because I can't verify it. I tried. She's the only one reporting it. That the initial bombing, when they thought they were bombing the planes, that they were bombing painted pictures that were on runways. Did anybody see that?
yeah, you
No.
know,
And then she showed
I've seen
some
the video.
evidence. Did you see it? That they actually had moved those planes weeks before this because they had already been worried about, Trump's
It was like watching a
instability.
Looney Tunes. It was
Yeah.
like watching a Looney Tunes.
Russians
Yeah,
are
she said it was like
saying-
Looney Tunes, like when the Wile E. Coyote runs into the wall with the tunnel painted on the. on the side
Yeah.
of it.
I've seen
Russia
that.
tried that in Ukraine a couple of times, but their incompetence, all they did was paint the shape of the airplane
Yeah,
on the tarmac.
that's what she
But
was saying. Yeah,
what the Iranians did is they painted the outline of the plane, but they also painted in shadows around it so
yeah, they
that
made it look.
anything flying
Yes,
over would look down and think there's an aircraft, there's a
yep,
shadow, so that's a real plane.
yeah. The ones that she showed in her video, they looked like what you would see in like a reverse, like a negative. And
Yeah,
there were details and everything. I mean, if she didn't say they were pictures painted, I would have believed they were targets.
yeah. And from 30,000 feet, when you got a Predator drone flying over with a camera,
Yeah,
yeah, it looks at, and that's the problem when the U.S. went to all electronic intel instead of hands-on, eyes-on.
yeah,
Because my job with NATO was eyes-on, like back in the 80s when you didn't have all these drones and satellites.
yeah,
Satellite fly over, see Russia do it, building something in northern Siberia or somewhere. It could be 2-3 months before that satellite get back there. So they would see that, and then we would be tasked to go and put eyes on it, figure out what it is, how important to them it was.
yeah.
Was it Navy, Army, or Air Force? And you could tell that by who was guarding it. And we would map it out, figure out what it was, go back, tell them. They would decide whether they'd send someone in to take it out or just say, let them waste their time.
Well,
Sounds
that's
like
exactly
I got a
what they're.
question. I got a question for Stephanie and the rest of you. Somebody made an interesting point. Joshua says they're destroying the aura of the might of the U.S. military. Now, when Russia went into Ukraine,
Yeah.
everybody thought they had this powerful force. They go on the ground. They can't do it in 3 days. 4 years later, they're there. 1 million people were killed. The whole mystique and the whole legend of the Russian military was kind of set aside because they clearly weren't as tough as they were made out to be. Do you sense we're getting that same thing with the American military in this situation because they couldn't do it in 3 days? Do you think, because of the dumb fucks that are running this, the strategies and such, do you think we're exposing ourselves as maybe not quite as powerful as we thought we were?
Well, it's not as powerful. I mean, you are the most powerful. You have the most powerful weapons, the most accurate weapons. The problem is you don't use them properly.
And we don't have a
Right.
plan.
Exactly.
You're into using, and this was true even back as far back as World War II. You were into overwhelming firepower, massive amount of troops, blah, blah, blah. And the Germans would just sit there in a defensive position and say, okay, come on. And you'd come on, and they would start mowing you down. So you'd stop, pull back, call in an airstrike, which the Germans could just get in their bunkers and wait out. And then
Right.
by the time you were ready to attack again, they were back in position. Whereas the way the Canadians did it is they planned everything. And they had the infantry, armor, and artillery work together. Canadians would call in an artillery barrage, and it was landing ground in 3 minutes. The Americans
Right.
would be half an hour. And the Canadians, they go into the attack, they start taking casualties, they just kept going. And, and they're basically, after World War II, all NATO combat arms, the basis of how they're trained today is based on what the Canadians did in World War II.
Yeah.
Well,
now
Stephanie, thank you for joining us, Stephanie. I'm going to try to get a bunch more people up here. I appreciate it, and
Okay.
you're welcome back anytime.
Okay, thank
I
you.
just want to make comments
Thanks.
to what
Probably
Stephanie
won't
was
be
saying.
on TikTok anymore.
Just comment to what Stephanie was saying. If we're using, and I think TJ might have been saying it also, if they're now relying on data, like using AI, they're now exposing themselves to the foolishness because now they're trying to use that as the excuse for why they hit the school, right? They said it was misidentified as a different area before it was a school, and they have bad old data.
Jeez.
And now they're trying to use that as their way out. So it makes us look
Let-
even weaker because now you're using information that is not accurate. And you look what they took out, innocent children. You know, they didn't just miss a target. They hit a target that was critical to the community and the livelihood and the families there. And that's now their excuse. They're saying now that we didn't have eyes on it.
When I look at Donald Trump and the Trump organization running this military, it's kind of like a guy who has enough money to buy an F1 racer, but doesn't know how to drive it, so he ends up crashing or at the very least losing.
Yeah.
And the thing
exactly.
about it too, that what they've
And
been
no pit
targeting,
crew.
what they've been targeting is very what the Israelis have been doing in Gaza and they're doing right now in Beirut. The Israelis go all their way to hit civilian structure. They do hit hospitals. They do hit schools.
Yeah.
A hospital was hit in Tehran. They blew up all those oil refineries. Okay,
Yeah.
which all that cause is toxic spill. It's going to make everyone sick, and everyone remembers. This is something that they're going to have to pay. It's a war crime, and eventually Pete Hegseth is going to get dragged in front of the Hague. He don't like it, but he will. It's going to happen once we get through this mess.
Yeah, it sure seems like it. I'm going to pull somebody up here. Go ahead, Eric.
About the mystique of the might of the American military. I don't think anybody is questioning our military might. What they're questioning is our military competence with leadership at the top. That they're just listening to these buffoons doing, we're weak as shit because of the people at the top.
Right.
Exactly. We've got Doug Robb coming up. Doug, how you doing? What's on your mind?
I'm doing great, Mike. Nice to see
Good,
you
good.
finally.
Yeah, nice to see you.
I know at the top of the live you said you didn't want to talk about TikTok.
Go ahead. We can do fucking anything we want.
Okay, well, I just didn't want to kick you off since we hadn't spoken.
No, you
in a
can't
while.
take me. Nah, you can't take me off.
Oh, well, that's nice. I appreciate that. I'm really fed up with TikTok too, especially some of the Nazi mods who seem to want to take over the live and become the focus of the live themselves. And what I've never understood is why they don't just say, I'm a mod, on the live, which I think would be helpful.
Yeah.
And because right away you understand that they have, the power to drop you or, take care of you if you get out of line. And I think it would be good, especially for some MAGAs. But the main thing really, I enjoy content like people like you. And
Thank you.
Always, you've always been one of the better people on the platform. But I just, I watch these lives and I participate in them over and over and over and over again. We get these MAGAs, they do the same thing. They overtalk everybody. They say bombastic, ridiculous, stupid stuff all the time. They basically have nothing really to contribute other than their butt-licking Trump comments.
Well, they think they're clever, and they're not.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And so I keep seeing it as a zero-sum game. What's being accomplished? They have nothing to contribute. They're not very intellectual on any level. And they just believe all the Trump bromides. So it never changes. The landscape never changes. It never gets anything. But I was just curious. TikTok, the one feature I think that makes it worthwhile is the live interaction between people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. You know, when I just did a live on YouTube, and the problem I have with the live on YouTube, I did it at like 7:30. Fucker's still downloading. I can't access it for hours after it's done, and that's just not feasible when it
Yeah.
comes to doing lives. But one of the ladies came and said, you know, I hope you don't get off TikTok because of the fact that you can do a live and bring a bunch of people up like you and everybody else. And she makes a good point. And I think you know maybe I was being a little emotional when I said this might be my last TikTok live. Instead of instead of doing that, maybe I'll just use TikTok to my advantage because I will get
Yeah.
more viewers when I record it here and put it on Spotify and put it on YouTube and put it on Substack. I'll
Yeah.
just use it. And I will continue to tell people if you want to get all my content, go to YouTube, Spotify, Substack, or even Instagram at this point,
Yeah.
because they're trying very hard for you to not see me and they're trying very hard to get me pissed off enough to go away.
And
Well,
don't give them that. Let them kick you off. Don't you go first.
Uh,
Yeah,
that's not a fun
doing?
experience. Trust me, I know. I've been down that road twice.
Yeah.
I agree with them. I think it's good to have a forum, and maybe less is more. Maybe doing less on TikTok will attract a larger audience when you do.
there may be something to that too. Yeah. Yeah. You can get the
So
taste of it here, and then if you want more, you can go to the other
Yeah.
places. That's a
yeah,
good
and
point.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with having
Hey,
your content spread across, several platforms. I mean, certainly I think that would be an advantage. So when you initially said that, I thought, boy, I hope he isn't really 100% serious. And I get totally your frustration. I hear the frustration in your voice, and I understand exactly why you're frustrated. I mean, TikTok is in many ways a bum platform. It's deteriorated seriously.
But
Well, Doug, one of
using
the
Spotify, Mike, just to tell you as a user, when you upload, and this goes for other creators that have done it too, when you upload to Spotify and then we watch it, it's a much more pleasant watch. We can't interact, obviously, because it's a recording, than it is to watch that same thing on YouTube. YouTube's got so much
really
shit on the screen. I can't stand using YouTube. But when you go to
okay, good to
Spotify,
know.
you actually see the video exactly the way you upload it. But it won't be a real interactive experience. It's not a live, but you can record each session. And I go through some of the creators and I just watch them one after another so they get their hours in and you get to see all the things you missed. But you're just listening at that point. It's at,
Yeah,
um, doesn't Substack upload to Spotify for you? You have an account, Mike? I thought they have that option.
not Spotify. They upload to
Not for
YouTube, but
Spotify? Okay.
no, they don't do Spotify. They do YouTube, but I don't let them upload to YouTube. I do it myself just to make sure everything the way it's supposed to be. You know, one of the things I
Okay.
think I ticked off TikTok about too is that when you upload a podcast to Substack, they will give you clips. And I was posting clips on TikTok of the podcast to get
Yeah.
people to listen to the podcast. But because it came from Substack, I think that got their panties in a twist too. But fuck them.
yeah.
That's ridiculous. Hey, Doug, I wanted to bring up something. You mentioned something about dealing with MAGA, how they basically, it's the same thing over and over again.
Uh-huh.
It just hit me where the root of that is. I'm going back years ago, back to Rush Limbaugh. Okay, now Rush Limbaugh is the original, okay, that started all this mess. But if you listen to the calls once in a while, all they would come on and say was ditto. They
Yeah.
had nothing to say. They didn't disagree with him. They just parroted what he said. And this is what these guys do now. All these MAGA people, and you watch them, you listen to them, they just can't accept that their God is wrong. Boy
Yeah.
is wrong.
Yeah.
So
Whenever they do the TDS thing, your TDS is showing, and I do the old, block TDS, block, like a parrot. They parrot the same things over and over again. They have no originality, and they're not even
No.
entertaining. I mean, You would think they would at least try to be entertaining, and they can't even manage that.
And you see some of them now, they're just making the rounds on all the good lives, and you recognize their handles now, right? You see them, and then people will warn them in the chat, oh, that guy was on this live and he's a troll. And they're just instigators and disruptors. And they're trying to turn this app into a combination of, entertainment and Amazon. That's what they're whittling it down to. All the good
Pretty much.
value on the political talk side and the world talk side has literally been decimated. I mean, you got to search for everybody. Nobody even comes across my feed anymore.
I think they don't like me too because they keep pushing on me to sell on TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the Creator Fund is probably going away. They prefer to give you money by selling on TikTok Shop, so they don't have to give you money. They just pay you a commission. Or they really push real hard to do lives because you can make all kinds of money on lives. Well, you can make money on lives if you beg people for gifts and all that stuff. And I'm not doing that. I don't want my listeners paying me for this. The fact that they listen, the fact that they're there is what's important to me. That's paying off.
That explains now that every time I'm going to my FYP, every other frickin' video is an ad. You just basically put that in perspective for me.
Tons of ads. The other thing, I was talking to TJ about this a couple mornings ago. I was scrolling my FYP. This live comes up, and there is a woman who is literally wearing no clothes. No clothes. I reported it because my last live, I got 2 violations for unoriginal gift requests when I never asked for them. And I was banned from getting gifts for like half the live. So I'm like, well, if I can do this, if they're going to violate me, this is clearly against their terms of service. I reported her 4 different times. Came back no violation every single time, even though it goes completely against their terms of service. And she was talking in there in that span of that live, she made $1,000 in that live.
Yeah.
Just so people understand, when I do a live, I can have anywhere from 300 to 800 people in there. That's a lot of people for a live. I have never gotten more than $3 for a live.
Yeah,
and I don't even want that.
Yeah.
I don't even want that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Eric and I got 27 cents, Eric, on ours. 27 cents. That was 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, I had some really good accounts. Like if I still had my original 2 banned accounts, and I've had many more since then, when they were banned, they were over 20,000 followers. But I wasn't in the Creator Fund, and I wouldn't take the crap from the maggots, and I would talk back in the comments, and I would get dinged for that. I would say stuff in the lives, I get dinged for that. And so basically, I didn't care. And I just kept making new accounts. But now they don't give you because you're using the same IP address, right? Because it's the same phone. I'm not going to go out and buy 5 new phones. So they must have tagged after the 5th banned account, they tagged the IP address, and now they get nothing. And I'm like, I just do what I do to try to do what little you can still do on this app. But it used to make a difference. It used to really get to a larger audience, and people were getting information that they weren't hearing other places because they were getting multiple opportunities, especially when we first started with the marches, right? I was getting 40, 50, 60,000 likes in those, giving people information out and making sure it was known. And now I don't even give a crap, but I still do it. But it doesn't have the impact that we were getting. And we can see the reason why they wanted to get rid of TikTok, because right now, as dumb as we think people are on the other side, we on the progressive Democrat, whatever you want to call yourself, liberal, people have learned a shit ton of things that I could tell you that I could name the governors of at least half of our states now. I couldn't do that 5 years ago. I didn't care. I only cared about the 5 states around where I live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Doug, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna get some other people up here. But I appreciate you coming on, and you're welcome anytime.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you too, and thanks for the opportunity to come up and speak. Good to hear from you again. Keep up the great work, and I'll be following you on Spotify, Substack, and YouTube.
I appreciate that immensely. Thank you very much. That is Doug Robb. Now, TJ said something in the comments. You're probably wondering, where's TJ? He's on a timeout because Spotify got butthurt. But he says TikTok collects 90%. TikTok collects 90% of the money from the gifts. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I know they take the vast majority of the gifts. So that's why I'm saying, don't send me gifts because they're going to make the money and they're going to give me nothing. You know what I'm thinking about doing? Because I'm from Minnesota and because I'm a big Prince fan, in the future, when I do a live or do my videos, I'm going to paint the word slave on my cheek just to do the same kind of protest that Prince did.
Good idea.
Because that's pretty much the case at this point.
Yeah. It's about a 70-30 split. People have to, the gifts have to be so big and there has to be such a volume of gifts for people to really make any money. We're talking about getting in, thousands and thousands of people through your live.
Yeah, and don't send me gifts. I don't need your gifts.
No.
And I don't want to feed TikTok any extra money. They're already taking enough.
Yeah.
All right, I'm pulling up somebody who wanted to come up. It's Hear What. Hear What? How you doing? What's on your mind?
I'm doing good, Boomer.
Good.
I wanted to stop by. I wanted to stop by and show my support because I saw your video earlier. But there's been so much from the conversation today. And I'm not going to monologue, but just a few things, just putting stories together from the beginning of this administration to now. At least during the first term of Trump, he had adults in the room. This time, he's basically fired everybody. He fired the top adjutant generals. He fired the Joint Chiefs. He put in Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. So when we start looking at different things and what he's doing now, it was mentioned before that, somebody said he might want to drop a nuke. And it's possible. And with the president and SecDef both saying yes, then that order is legit coming down. And then you would have to assume that the subcommander and the captain would agree because it came down from them. But that's a conspiracy theory. But also things like somebody said that they can't rearm them real fast. Well, I read today that they just pulled all the THAAD and the Patriot systems out of South Korea. I'm guessing they're going to be shipped there. And
yeah, probably
there was another news story was the French are now sending in an aircraft carrier and one frigate with 2 more frigates on the way to try to escort through the Strait of Hormuz, with the new Khomeini saying, he's going to defend that regardless. And because it's such a small area, you see things are getting hit now. So there's just so much that was going on when I requested up that it's almost a jumble now.
I mean, how the hell are you going to escort a ship through the Strait of Hormuz? It's so narrow. There's only like a 2-mile part, which is deep enough to take a carrier or take a cargo ship. And the thing about an escort mission, if you're dealing with an escort mission, you don't worry about the escorts. You get the cargoes, you get the target.
Right.
And it's over.
And that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't think they could really, even if, and the French said they're going to be strictly defensive. So they're there to try to take down out of the sky the incoming. But even our Secretary of Energy said that our Navy is not prepared for that yet. And we have an armada there already. So if we're not ready for it, um, I don't know how France is going to help, but that's just one of the things. But the other thing about it is we really can't trust anything coming out of our government's mouth because yes, we lost another 6 soldiers today in an aircraft accident, so that takes the count up to 14 or 13. But
No, that'd be 14.
14, okay, I thought so. But now they're saying that and now the reports come out that there are 150 people injured. That came out last week, and I tried to do a deep dive into it. And I couldn't find anything more than 25. So I had to stand corrected because now it's actually coming out that our government is actually saying, yeah, we've had these many injuries. I just can't believe shit coming out of our government.
Well, that's the
Kind
exact
of
point.
sad,
We're
huh?
hearing 150 people hurt, 14 people dead, but can we believe that? I mean, because they do nothing but lie, and the media allows them to do that, and they help them with it. That's the most disturbing thing about our government. We don't know what's real. We don't
Right.
know what's true. They lie about everything.
Mike, I don't believe any of the numbers that are coming out, to be honest with you.
There's been a couple of
No, I
posts
don't
too
either.
that have claimed that there are major fatalities in Germany that were taken to German hospitals. Now, I'm not sure how that fits in the picture, but they said they literally had to close down a major German hospital because there were so many soldiers and they were not taking anyone into the maternity ward because it was too dangerous and they needed the space.
Right. And Jojo, that's what I was talking about because that's when that story came out. And for knowledge, in the Middle East or North Africa or even in Europe, Italy, where it is, if you're an injured soldier, you're treated at an aid station, and then maybe locally, if you're severe enough, then they fly you to that hospital in Germany because that is the biggest U.S. installation that we have.
Okay.
But
Okay.
when that story came out, and they said they closed the OB ward, I was
Yeah.
thinking that was in preparation of them saying they wanted to put boots on the ground and possibly take that one island that's their biggest uh, fueling station. And I'm thinking that's where I would say assume boots would go on the ground and there'd be a lot of action there where they would need it. But now it's coming out that no, they've already had 150. And
Yeah.
like I said, I dove into that for 2 days and I couldn't find anything, and except for rumors from other countries. But now those rumors come out to be true.
Right. Well, this was
Yeah.
being reported by, I'm not sure if it was Al Jazeera English or the BBC that I was watching, who actually confirmed it after like a day and said that this hospital has been closed down and is servicing injured soldiers, and that their maternity ward has been off limits. It's unusable at this point because they need that much space. They've been overrun and they're running out of supplies.
Well,
So
from what I understand, the injured soldiers are from some of our surrounding bases from the countries around Iran that Iran was bombing
that bombed, yeah.
that weren't
Yes.
even told ahead of time that, hey, be prepared for possible counterstrikes because we're doing this.
Right.
Because this was such a disorganized mess.
Well, did you see the
no heightened
post?
alert.
Sorry. Did you see
No heightened alert, nothing. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry, we did it to each other again. Did you see the post about Huckabee trying to make it sound like he knew what was happening, but he wasn't warned to get out of Israel? And he said, we're here and we're holding down the embassy. Yeah, but the fucking president didn't even tell Huckabee, get the hell out, until after they already started. Now the guy, I don't know, is he still alive even? Have you seen the reports about what's happened in Tel Aviv?
No. Here's the thing. Part of it is the hubris, and I'm going to say this straight up, and I said it in my life, there's a really deep part of a racist component here. Okay? Look who's running it. Okay? They dropped bombs on Venezuela. A bunch of brown people. Okay? And that was easy. So they thought if they do this in Iran, another bunch of brown people, they would react the same way. Because they cannot imagine the Iranians being tactical. You can't imagine the Iranians having a way to threaten them. They have no respect for them, and they found out the hard way. I mean, even during the Iraqi war, the George Bush Jr. and Cheney didn't want to mess with the Iranians. They knew better. But these guys literally thought they were not racially smart enough to fight the United States. And now here we are.
And with what's his fat fucking face, having been in New York City during the 9/11 time, you think he would have thought, oh, they might still be holding a fucking grudge over all the shit we did to them and to the Muslim people?
Yeah, no shit.
Right? Like, just that alone should alert you that maybe they've been waiting for the moment and you just gave it to them, and they are more prepared than you are. You know, Iran is the size of 2.5 times the size of Texas. This is no baby country. This is not like Israel. This isn't like a little sliver of land here.
And the thing about it too is, like earlier before you came on, I mean, when they asked the foreign minister of Iran, "Are you worried about boots on the ground?" No, we're ready. That was just like,
Yeah.
I heard that, I'm going, yeah, they're ready.
Yeah.
That is not a good idea, guys. But I don't trust these guys. Pete Hesketh, who's never served in any combat himself. J.D. Vance didn't serve in any combat. He was a RIMF. Okay?
He had a typewriter. That was his weapon.
And now
Yeah.
they play with our men like they're G.I. Joes, G.I. Joe toys. And it's hard. And what's the reputation is not that American military is powerful, it's that we were smarter than most people. The Russians don't have a smart military, never had. We did. We used to. Now we're watching
We
this
don't
just
anymore.
fall apart.
Well, that creator I was telling you about, the Persian woman, and I say Persian because I'm not sure she's actually from Iran. She might be an American. She might be, she might be here as a matter of, moving. I'm not sure. She's fairly young. She said, the stupidity of the United States to not understand the terrain, the mountainous terrain in Iran, that they basically have built bunkers and whole forces into the sides of these mountains. Nothing is above ground. They literally didn't affect their military, their arsenals by much at all, including, bombing fake painted pictures on tarmac. I mean,
So
like they're
Well-
prepared.
is there an out for
What?
us? Is there an out? Really?
For us, I
is
think
there an
we're in
out?
deep shit. I don't think there's an out. Trump thinks he's just going to say, oh, okay, I'm going to take my toys and go home. We're done. And Iran's going to say, yeah, we're not done yet, dude.
I've been saying that.
So here what? I got a question for you here what, and for all of you. I sense Donald Trump will taco out and try to get out because he's taken a beating with the economy and the oil and all this stuff. And he'll think that he walks away and then everything quits because Donald Trump's no longer at the party. What I'm concerned about is Iran has been kind of waiting for this war, and this is their opportunity to decimate Israel.
Yep.
And I think Israel may have put themselves in a situation, or Benjamin Netanyahu has put themselves in a situation where they can't win on this thing.
Great.
Also, think about it. The Iranians and the Saudis have been battling about for kind of a supremacy in the Middle East. The Iranians now can look at this with their new leader who lost his entire family, thanks to us, as an opportunity to reset the power structure in the Middle East. That would not be good for us at all.
Just think about the retaliatory aspect of taking out a guy's parents, his daughter, right? Because the granddaughter died, and his own wife. And now he's running the country, and he has a bone to pick with Israel already, and they're holding a lifelong. Guy's 50-something years old. He wasn't ignorant to what happened during the 9 double hockey sticks, right? So you don't think he's like gonna pay back for all this shit that we just did, and go back to saying what happened during 9/11 didn't get finished? I live too close to New York City. Let me tell you something. You won't find me in New York City since this happened. I have canceled appointments, meetings, and I'm still only 25 miles outside the city. So those things have a radius of at least 100.
So
Go ahead here, what?
personally, I don't think because he got rid of all the adults in the room that he does not have an out right now. I believe that he thought, as RJ said, that he just thought it was going to be as easy as going into Venezuela, but it's not. I believe that they overwhelmingly underestimated, just like they did in the Iraqi and Afghanistan war that we were there for 20 years. I think he thought it'd be easy. And now, and the thing with Israel is stretching itself very thin because they just started a boots on the ground in Lebanon, so they're spreading themselves thin. They're starting to run out of munitions, just like because we're still supplying them, and we still have a ton. Yes, our military was one of the biggest because we put the most money into it. But in this situation, we did not use our brains. And no, we're not looking like we're the mighty U.S. military anymore.
No,
Even,
because we spend $95 billion in a month on fucking crab and
right,
ribs and stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
I think even with the problems with the USS Abraham Lincoln having to back off because their plumbing was bad, that's an issue. That's people are looking at that and going, what? And that's our biggest and best aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
I think that what's going to happen is like the new Ayatollah basically just said that he could see oil prices reaching $200 a barrel and he doesn't care. And I don't think there's a way to stop it. Trump can sit there and say, "Oh well, I just put 142 million barrels of oil on the market. The IEA put another 400 million on there." Well, that 500 million barrels of oil is worth 1 week of the world supply.
Yep.
1 week.
Right.
That's all that is.
That's all it is.
I think China is in negotiations with Iran right now to get some of their ships, some of their oil tankers through. But I think, and I'll have to go back and read it again. I read a story the other day that said China is sending them things to put together. They can't send them like our Patriot system or those missiles and those kind of things put together, but they can send the parts and have them assembled. So I think China's negotiating. Russia's saying, "Hey, Europe, if you need oil, buy it from us. But we're going to charge you a lot more." I think I don't think Trump has an out on this one, and I think our economy is going to take a huge hit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World War III.
In my opinion, there are two outs for the United States in this whole incursion, whatever term you want to use, because I know Donald Trump likes to call it an excursion. There are two outs. One is the Big Mac gets Donald Trump, or two, we get to that point possibly after most of the primaries, or maybe after Donald Trump gets his ass kicked and the Republicans get their asses kicked in the midterms, and they move on him and they remove him. I think one's going to happen before the other, but
I don't see us making to the midterms with this action going on. I think our economy would be done by then.
We're 6 months away from that, and we're going to be decimated financially.
I'm going to root for the Big Mac.
I think our only outs are removing Donald Trump. That is going to be the beginnings of it. And it may not be enough to just remove Trump. We might have to remove Vance, too.
Well, I believe that this is Israel's decline as well as ours, because I believe that this is going to, I think we just created World War III in the Middle East.
Right.
Don't you all think we've already been in it? Like, it hasn't been officially declared? But this is a WAR. I mean, we can't deny that this is turned into a world situation.
And I agree. And Mike, I'm sorry, Alan. Mike, I'm going to go ahead and drop so that way you can get somebody else up here. I want to come up support you and just throw a couple things out there. Like I said, if you look at the stories of the past year, how he got rid of people, what he's doing. And now them talking about doing a draft again. It might be that's just here conspiracy theory. He might say, "Well, I had to use a tactical nuke, so I didn't have to do a draft." You don't know
I could see him.
his childish craziness and his not having an adult in the room is really going to hurt us now because we actually did have. I mean, I did hear RJ before say that they talked to a whole bunch of people and they're like, "No, I would never follow that order." But there's actually people out there that said, "Yes, I'm going to follow that order. If it comes down to the president and the SecDef, I'm going to follow that order."
Yeah, I'm not going to trust that oath too much anymore based
Right.
on what we've seen. Hear what? Thank you for joining us. I am going to get some other folks up. Hear what? You're welcome to come back on anytime. Trucker, you had something you were going to say.
Yeah, I want to change the subject just a little bit. Still sticking with the military situation. How do you think it's possible for someone to go into a base and steal 2 of our military drones and get away with it?
About
That
him
happened?
saying that they stole a
Yeah.
tomahawk.
Yeah, that
Somebody
happened.
reported it. Yeah, that had
Yeah, they
happened.
went into the
It's
base,
bullshit.
stole 2 drones, them big ass drones that are flying around,
And left the
those,
base with them.
and walked up out of the base with
Well,
them. Come on.
That's what they claim, right?
Yeah, that's what they claim. There's no way that could
That's
happen.
their new
There's
claim
absolutely
is
no
that
way.
Did you also hear the
So-
rumor that the reason that the ship was having plumbing problems was that it was intentionally done?
Well,
Did you
yeah,
hear
they were
that?
Yeah.
stuffing shirts and towels and everything else down there.
So it wasn't the equipment isn't working, is that they were trying to avoid the trip at all, period. And didn't they try to stop it in China? No, yeah, was it China they tried to stop in? And well, no, Israel. It was Israel. And Israel wouldn't let them.
Haifa, and Haifa said no.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let them get off the fucking boat. It's like,
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe you guys, maybe I'm crazy, but before this started, before that Saturday when he started everything, Trump seemed like on the downslope. Okay, he
Yeah.
seemed slow. He seemed. Is it me or is all this death and destruction going on made him more invigorated? He played golf. He's dancing around the stage in Kentucky again. He seems
Yeah.
like it's uplifted him.
Have you seen Lindsey Graham?
Yeah, Lindsay's
Oh, the
Lindsey,
man is
yeah,
giddy.
Lady Lindsay.
Lindsey
So
Graham
that's-
is giddy with like joy. You think that he had the best sex ever.
I don't even
That
wanna
just paints a
visualize
horrible
that.
picture.
Anybody check his Grindr profile?
Right?
Did you see
I'm
that
pulling
reporter catch him in the Capitol? Lindsay, why don't you just say you're gay so no one can blackmail you?
Yeah, absolutely. Adam, we got Adam up. You got to turn your background sound down. We got Adam up. You got to turn your background sound down. We got Adam up. You got to turn your background sound down. We'll try to get Adam back. That's listening to myself is fucking annoying. All right, let's try
So-called
Wilbur here.
Bev says in the comments that saw him at the golf course, but didn't see him swing the club. Maybe not of golf. It's entirely possible he just went to the golf course and
Missed the grass.
didn't actually golf because he thought maybe if we get a few pictures of him at the golf course, we'll quit talking about how bad his health is.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
That could be. That could be. That could be. I'm punching up some people here and they're not coming through. So let's see here. Oliver's mom. She's usually a safe bet. Oliver's mom, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just to go about with the real quick with the TikTok money. I did my first live Tuesday night, and I made an entire $1.02. So I'm
Wow.
looking for that big windfall soon. You know.
Yeah.
Don't forget
You're
to
doing
pay
better than
taxes
what's
on
mine.
it.
Yeah, I know.
You know what pisses me off about that? That money didn't come from TikTok. They're making money from you, but they
Yeah.
didn't pay you. They're forcing the listeners to buy gifts so they can pay you.
Yes.
TikTok's just like the government. They want to make all the money. It's not enough to have a lot of money. They want all the money and they want to take it from us. I'm fucking tired of it. If I'm not going to deal with it with the government, I'm not going to deal with it with TikTok.
Right. Okay, so my thing tonight is more of a question. Okay,
Okay.
during World War II, we had Pearl Harbor, we had our terrorist thing, in New York. Um, what do y'all think about something like either one of those happening here in the future based on what's going on right now? I mean, do you
I
think we're going to have, ships off the coast trying to fire whatever into the country, or another terrorist event based on all of this? I mean,
highly probable.
I mean, consider who's running the FBI.
Well, when they said this came out that Iran may have some drones striking California, I think that's absolute bullshit. I think this is one of Donald Trump's ploys to make a blue state worried and support the war because they're afraid they're going to be attacked by Iran. We're fucking blowing up boats in the Caribbean. Are you telling me there's an Iranian ship outside the international waters with drones ready to attack California and nobody's picked that up yet? Please, motherfucker. That's ridiculous.
yeah, that makes sense. Now, how about something along the lines of New York and the Trade Center? Do you think that something like that might happen? Maybe not on that
Well, I mean, there's
scale, but something.
sleeper cells are a different situation, certainly. I mean, you'll see we've had a couple of what we think might be terroristic attacks with Old Dominion and with West Bloomfield, Michigan. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, real quick. There's a comment. Tracy said, "Here, is there any hope here? I'm trying to find something to hang on to." Let me tell you what you hang on to, Tracy. Okay, it's not a good situation. It's out of our control. But here's the thing: I watched today in Vermont. You don't see it on the regular news. They raided a house. ICE did, and the neighbors came out in force. Not only were they arresting people that they took out of the house, they arrested people left and right. Okay. Right now, the good thing you have to keep in mind is that, and Mike says it all the time, I said it, the people in charge of this are dumbasses. And it's working against them. And eventually it's going to blow up in their face, and they have to back off. And they fear their elections. I disagree that we're going to have an election in November, even if there's economic decimation, because people will come out like they did in the Great Depression and handle their business. So the point I'm saying, this sucks. This absolutely is so un-American on levels I can't even believe. Okay? But I will tell you this, and I don't agree with any doomsayer or anyone like that. We say this because we want you to be aware and be ready. But do not think we are not going to take care of business. Americans don't put up with this shit. Only the 35% occultists.
Right.
There are more of us than there are of them.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing I can say to you.
We're going to fight to the bitter end. I can believe that, but people are getting, and I know this is part of their plan, but people are literally so fatigued and exhausted, they don't know what to do. And these kind of lives,
get mad.
And what you just said are the things that can keep people a little bit propped up and giving them a little bit of hope to understand the rest of us feel the same way as you do, but we're so fucking mad, we're going to fight to the death. And I'm literally ready to do that.
Because that's the thing. I don't want to be tired. I'm fatigued. I get it. Trust me, there are days where you got to be kidding. But you know what? Then I see something, I just go, this is not right. And you get mad.
That's right.
And that's how you keep going. And that's what they're scared of. That people are getting mad. Minnesota, you guys in Minneapolis, scared the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Literally.
They
didn't expect
but I will
that.
tell you,
you get a lot of energy from
this.
being angry. It's much more. It's better to be mad than be sad.
Well, I'll tell you this though, because I live in Minnesota and I keep hearing Minnesotans talk about us. It's not over with ICE in Minnesota. They may be down to 650 ICE agents in town. They said they were going to bring it down to 100, but it's like 650 or maybe even more.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of cars around coming out of the Whipple building. The shit's still going on in Minneapolis. It may not be forefront in the news, but ICE is still doing what they're doing, and Minnesotans are still pushing back and fighting them.
Yeah, there's several creators that are reminding us of that exact thing.
Yeah.
Just because you're not seeing it It's still happening, and they're alert. Matter of fact, I have 2 posts on this account now. We'll see how long it lasts. Of 2 different creators that are saying, "Please don't give up on us," because they have not left, and they're doing even sneakier shit than they were doing before.
By the
And
way,
yes,
Coffee Man 613.
Coffee
He
Man
says send
says,
ice to Iran.
yeah,
Do you know that
that's
in the
in their
contract for ICE
contract.
agents,
Yep,
they can be sent overseas
yep.
for security. It's in their contract.
It's in their 5-year contract. Yep. Somebody went over that
Yeah.
contract. It was a lawyer, I think I saw, and he said they didn't read the contract, and they first didn't know they were going to have to wait 5 years to get that bonus. And if they don't live up to everything that's required of them, they may not keep it. And if they quit before 5 years, they got to pay back whatever they already got. And I mean, it's like a typical Donald trap of, I'm going to do everything possible not to pay you people. That's exactly what
Yeah.
it is.
Well, it is.
bonus
And
goes-
5 years from now, Donald Trump won't even be alive. So what the
That's
hell?
right. And what are they going to do?
Well, and there'll be a Democrat president, and most of those ICE agents that got hired under Donald Trump will be
gonna go
fired, be
on trial.
prosecuted,
Yep.
and they'll not only will they be probably in prison for the rest of their lives, potentially depending on what crimes they committed.
Yep.
But then they'll have to pay back that 50 grand plus
Yeah.
interest, plus all the money that
Yeah.
they took out for taxes from it. They're getting screwed
Yeah.
and they don't even realize it.
And this time, hopefully, we'll have back-to-back Democratic presidents, so they aren't going to be pardoned then after the next term. Because we got to keep, excuse me, I got to say this because I got to get it out, and I hope it gives you all energy. We got to keep these motherfucking Republicans out of office at least for the next 20 years.
Well, I've been
It's going to take
saying
us
for a
that
while.
long to recover.
I have been saying for a while that if the next Democrat administration runs on a New Deal style message, fixing the economy, and they actually accomplish something, they could have power for 20 years plus, just
Yes.
like what happened after the Great Depression.
Yes. And that's what we have to think about.
Yeah.
That's what we have to think about. We have to think about that's the positive part that TJ was referring to. I think it was TJ that said that. That we got to think about what comes after this. Because no matter how old any of us on this panel might be, we're going to be alive a little while longer, and we're going to fight.
Absolutely. We're getting down toward the end. I just have to let people know that TJ is back, and the question I have with TJ: did you learn a fucking lesson, for fuck's sake?
What the fuck did I do?
I don't know.
TikTok
I
spank.
didn't do you know what? TikTok can go fuck itself because I'm fucking
I agree.
tired of this. You know what I mean? I didn't do anything. I did nothing, but that doesn't matter.
No.
You're a moderator, right, TJ?
Yeah, I'm a mod.
Yeah.
So basically, you blocked someone and he ran to TikTok. You know, that's what it was. You know that.
Maybe, I don't know, but
I said hi to TJ and then they dropped him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've said some worse things since you were dropped.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Trucker came on my live. In the first 60 seconds, I got a violation before I even said a word. So, you know what I mean? Like TikTok, you know, they're out to get me all the time, and that's fine. Fuck them. But
Wheels up. I like that. You fit the description, TJ.
yeah,
Yeah. Welcome to racial profiling, bro.
yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. I'll accept it. They must think I'm brown, and I'm not, but they must think I am.
Yeah.
I don't normally
Yeah, no shit.
want to promote anything, that I post because I just let people find me. That's how I've always done it. But if you get a chance, look at the post I made with the guy that's talking from Minnesota, that they've changed their whole strategy now. And they're wearing more plain clothes, less camo. They're using unmarked vehicles. They don't have sirens or lights or any bullshit on it. And they're trying to fool people into thinking that they're part of the community. So they got like stuffed animals on the dashboards and they're dressing, like they're there just because they live in the community. So people spread the word. You got to keep aware. They're changing their strategies while they're still out there tearing people's lives apart.
But before we go, I want to touch on something real quick because I didn't get to see fuck all night. So I want to talk about this whole threat about California and how ridiculous it is, and it's just a fabrication.
This bullshit.
Yeah, it's so silly. You know, it would take almost like months for them to circumvent the entire world with a naval ship to get close enough to California to do it. Number one, so we know this is absolute bullshit. But you know what's not bullshit is that the Iranians have sleeper cells in this country.
Right.
And that's a threat for sure. Definitely a threat. However, here's the thing that people need to remember is that the Iranians are not stupid people. Okay? They're not stupid. And so they know historically who has common sense and who doesn't, right? And it goes to show because of what President Obama did with Iran and then said, hey, you know, let's work out a deal. So the Iranians have sleeper cells here, but I have a feeling that if they do something, it won't happen in a blue state. It will happen in a red state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I
That
mean,
makes sense.
And the reason why I think that is because the Iranians know that the only way to change the power shift here is to make sure that the midterm elections go the way that we know they're going to go, right?
Yeah,
Right, right.
If they do something to New York City, that's a big ass problem, right? So
True.
So I honestly think that, and actually, quite honestly, if I was in their position, I would target a place like, you know, Biloxi or some, you know, Birmingham or some other place where it's out of the way that it's not gonna disrupt what happens in the elections. So
Yeah.
But
I think you're probably right about that.
Well, one thing I know is that Fox News or whoever it is has got a lot of MAGA scared by talking about whatever's going on that thinks going on off the coast of California and what could happen on the East Coast if, you know, launching it DC or down here in Florida or stuff like
Maggie's
that.
always
if they're gonna
scared.
listen, if they're gonna hit some place on the East Coast, it's gonna be Annapolis, Maryland.
Look, this is what I want. I want the Iranians to hold up to their promise because they said they want to get you know whom. Okay? And don't promise me a good time.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you,
My
if I
only
was
problem-
had somebody, if I had somebody threatening me, I wouldn't want it to be Iran because they're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
What do they say, Mike? They're proving to be a worthy adversary.
Yeah,
Jesus.
no shit. I'm going to wrap up the Rational Boomer TikTok live and the podcast and all this stuff. I just for those people in Minnesota or anywhere else around the country, we hear about ICE. We hear about ICE going in plain clothes, trying to be slick and sneaky. They're still pretty easy to pick out. If you see a group of guys in one vehicle that look like they peaked in high school and maybe never had a date, those are fucking ICE, guaranteed.
110%.
I like that.
Actually, just walk up to them and go, "Hey, what's your grinder username?"
Ladybug.
I mean, just you know, hey, I just want to know in case you know.
It's
If you got nothing better.
Ladybug487 at Grindr.com.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah. All right, I'm going to wrap things up. We'll get this downloaded, and as I've told you before, I don't have a lot of confidence in TikTok, but if you didn't hear the whole live, you will hear it early this morning around 12:15 on Spotify, on YouTube, and on Substack, and fuck TikTok. Anyway,
Fuck TikTok.
but we'll still
Amen.
keep doing lives because then I can bring a bunch of people on and we could talk like this. So Rebecca, Trucker, Analytical Iowan, Will, Jojo, Oliver's mom, TJ the plumber, and everybody else that joined us. Thank you very much for making this far more interesting than if the Rational Boomer just talked for an hour and a half. Way more interesting. So I appreciate it.
Good night, all.
That's what
We
you have us for.
appreciate you.
Better.
For those of you listening for the whole thing, thank